Hello and welcome to the next episode of Pixel Reacts, the Pixel parent show that brings you our thoughts, reactions and takes on the biggest gaming events, releases and moments out there. I am your host Liam Kelvin, and of course I am joined by Scott, the Tastemaker Curry. Say hello, Scott.
Hello, Scott. That's your terrible pattern, isn't it? Hello, I'm alright. How's everyone else? How you doing? It's late at night, so there you go.
It is late at night. The things we do, the things we do. But of course, tonight, we're here to talk about the latest PlayStation State of Play. So let's dive in, Scott. What did you make of the show? What's your overall thoughts after watching that?
I went in with absolutely no expectations, and I think that going into these shows like that is good because anything they show is worthwhile. So I'm quite excited about what the future looks like. I think there's a lot of unknowns and a lot of weird stuff out there, but it kind of feels like this is what PlayStation needs. Like, it doesn't always need these heavy hitters like AAA experiences. It sometimes need these games to kind of keep them going. So it kind of feels like a lot of stuff like that, which, you know, some people might not agree with me there, but I think that it's good. So and I'm excited to kind of look at it.
So let me get a gauge on it. Out of 10, what would you give that just from the offset? Put you in the spot.
Out of 10, I'd say that for me personally, it was good. It was well paced. I liked some of the announcements. I'd probably give it like an 8, 9, maybe.
Wow. Okay. The echelons.
I don't think there was no points in it where I was like going to hurry up. Like the games that I didn't enjoy were out the way quickly. Like it kind of felt like that Xbox one where, you know, everything was kind of fired out at you at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So it felt good. The 40 minutes flew past, you know. So
yeah,
I was quite happy with that. What about yourself?
Me, I'm probably not as hot on it as yourself. I'm not low on it either. I come away thinking this felt like a presentation that Xbox would have put out 3 years ago, and the internet would probably be slaughtering them. Probably yourself, chief amongst them, to be honest, Scott. I'm thinking there was stuff in there that I was very excited about to see. Some really cool new things and some really cool things we're aware of. But there's just something about it that I'm like, I think PlayStation in particular, this whole thing just felt like it maybe could have been 20 minutes, and I was really shocked to see that they didn't put in a couple of, at least Death Stranding. We know they've got South by Southwest coming up, or even Ghost of Yotei, just something out there just to be like, hey, this is supposed to be coming this year, and it's the start of the year. From a marketing perspective, I'm like, you should really be putting something out there just now about it. I would probably say I'm probably about a 7. I think there's definitely room for improvement. Not the worst state of play that I've seen, not the best either. I think there's definitely, it felt like there was just something missing throughout it for me. That being said, there was still a lot of really cool games and a lot of exciting announcements within this show that made it worthwhile, which of course is why we're here tonight.
What we're here to talk about.
Exactly. So let's just go through everything as we usually do in these episodes and just go through it one by one. We'll just get our thoughts as we go and talk about it. So Scott, what did we kick things off with?
First things first was another Monster Hunter trailer. The game that's had 1 million trailers now. I feel like I've played this game and I've not. I feel like I've completed it. The sooner this game comes out, literally the first thing I wrote, just put, the sooner this game comes out, the better, because I've seen too much of it already. Like, this game is what you make of it, and that's fine. But there's something of kind of too much of a good thing, and it's really annoying now. So, I was a bit just like going to hurry up, and then obviously we've got a 2025 update in spring for it as well. Which is the first time I've ever heard of someone releasing an update before the game actually releases. So, I was a bit shocked about that. And they done that, and then the wee director person came out and had like a 2-minute conversation. I was like, what the fuck is this? Go away.
Yeah.
Your trailer's been gone. Fuck off.
See, the way this opened with Monster Hunter Wilds, a game that I'm not going to play, I'm not interested in it, but for fans, it looks cool. Like, it's definitely something to be excited about. But with you, it's like we've seen a lot of it. There was cool things like they've announced it is going to be PS5 Pro enhanced via day one patch, which is cool. But this kind of set the tone for me from the offset, which is, right, we're going to be doing some marketing obligations here. Like, it felt, the whole show felt like we're just making announcements for the sake of it. It could have been a blog post, and there's a lot of them in here. like that. So I was very much just kind of like, okay.
Aye, I kind of get your point on it, but I also think that we needed something. Do you know what I mean? Like the PlayStation needed to just say, like, we're still here. By the way, we're still alive, and there's something like there's life here. You know, there's something happening.
An extended Christmas break.
Well, that's true. Aye, that's true.
But yeah, it was more Monster Hunters coming February 28th. It's not out already, as Scott said. It's not been out for years. But yeah, that's certainly a Monster Hunter game that's coming out. That's all I can say on that, to be honest. Moving on, we got this next one I was pretty excited about. What was next, Scott? What was next?
It was the Shinobi Art of Vengeance trailer from Sega. First notes on this were looks cool as fuck.
Oh,
I love the mobility of it all, and I also love that it sort of retains some of the old look of Shinobi as well, like some of the daffy animations and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
I love that, but it's a pure vibe. Like it looks absolutely class. Like, and it's just nice to see that these games that Sega are sort of promised to remake, like, you know, Crazy Taxi and all that, and Shinobi now, actually do exist. So it's nice to get an update on that.
Yeah. I mean, I was absolutely buzzing when I seen this. I think the last we even got a hint that they were reviving the Shinobi franchise was back when it was revealed at the Game Awards. The Sega
Awards,
that glut of classic franchises that's coming back. I think was it Blizzard Cube Games that's doing this. It just looks absolutely fantastic. Like if you've played the old Shinobi games, you're going to be very pleased. The art style, it's gorgeous. So excited to try this. And it's coming out August 29th. I'm going to be eating well around my birthday, Scott, this year. There's a lot of games, some very, very big ones coming out around that time. But I think I'm definitely going to pick this up day one. It looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, this is one I would say, go check out the trailer, Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Like, please just have a look.
Go and check out a decent trailer, because sometimes when you watch it on these shows, the bitrate for it and stuff like that goes absolutely off its tits. So if you can go and find a proper 4K trailer, then wire in.
It does. And if you like Streets of Rage 4, it's the same people. So, you know,
it's the same people. Aye.
You're getting the same quality levels here. Definitely one I'm excited about. Yeah, it was just definitely a positive in the show for me, for sure.
And then we moved on to Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, which has stolen my idea for the new Mario Kart, jumping through portals and shit.
Yep.
It's Sonic Racing as you know it. Seems to have I think there was a Sega All-Stars Racing back in the day that had different characters in it, but this seems to be more focused on Sonic.
Yeah.
Try to pretend that I know what I'm talking about here. Don't think they announced the release date, but they announced a closed network test in February.
Yep.
I think it's February the 21st. So, I mean, it's more racing and your Sonic. So it's surprising. Who beats Sonic in Sonic Racing? Surely he's the fastest.
Well, his car isn't the fastest, so that could be the loophole there.
He could just get out his car. Just get out his car. It'd be like Fred Flintstone, like just fucking running it.
True. He's a good sport. He's a good sport, though, isn't he? I mean, what you've touched on there, Scott, is true. So they're going to be touching on this kind of new mechanic around portals. So it's called travel rings. This is coming from the PlayStation blog, their new gameplay mechanic, which are aiming to make each race feel surprising and fresh. And so it's basically just aiming to bring changes to races. So it's going to transport you from one world to another location. And the lead racer gets to choose the cross world that players will be transported to on the second lap. So that's a pretty cool little touch, a little incentive to kind of lead the pack. But when I was looking at this, I was thinking, this looks cool. Definitely, you know, you can see the Mario Kart influence as you can with any kart racer. But I thought my son would absolutely love this. Like, it looks
fucking eat it up, aye. No, definitely.
Absolutely fantastic. And I think, you know, Sonic's so hot right now. You know, the films are doing well.
He's the hottest. He's the hottest he's been in a very long time.
Exactly. So I mean, who knows?
It's good to see him outstretching his legs, you know. He needs it.
I know, he's a bit like PlayStation, just being, you know, get off the bench. Come on, Sonic.
Just like, oh, it's the fucking hell, right? Okay, I'm moving now.
Fine.
Oh, you bastard.
Where's my keys? You know, so it looks pretty cool. I was surprised to not see a release date for it, because it didn't look pretty.
Looked pretty done.
Don't look rough.
Aye.
You know, so that's probably a good compliment. But yeah,
maybe it's just they need to get the network test out of the way, and then they'll kick it on. You know.
Yeah, I can probably see that one potentially coming to PlayStation Plus within the next 12 months. To be honest with you, but I digress. So what was next, Scott? What was next?
So I was like, that was this fucking Persona looking game. Bandai Namco. This is Bandai Namco's Persona.
Yep.
And then it opened up and it's Digimon Story Time Stranger. Fucking Digimon in it. Let's all just pretend that we cared about Digimon back in the day. I think I only played like one of the PS1 games with the Digimon poops. Like it shits all over the floor and then I think it died. But out in 2025, it looks like it kind of looks like, you know, Digimon's attempt at Pal World. Let's just get all these games out now before Pokemon comes along and eats everyone's lunch. But if you're a Digimon fan, then you know there's something there for you.
Certainly a Digimon game.
It is 100% a Digimon game.
Big Digimon JRPG. It's been 10 years since I did a Digimon Story series game, which is quite a long time. I mean, cards on the table, I've got no interest in Digimon. I always am perplexed when I hear folk my age like have such a love for them. I'm like, come on, that was just like fake as balls Pokemon. Like, we know it. Ain't nobody watching that. It kind of felt like they were just a clear tap in at that success. So I was never a Digimon kid, and I'm not a Digimon adult. So yeah, but like you said, I mean, it looks the part. I mean, visually, it was very impressive. If you like that kind of art style as well, it looks like it's something like fans have been waiting a long time to get their teeth sunk into something about this, and it certainly will deliver. But yeah, it's just on the wish list just now. There was no date announced for that, as far as I remember.
Just on my wish list. No, it just says out in 2025. So
aye. Well, we'll move on to the next then. We'll move on because we won't linger too long on the ones we don't have much to really say about. But we're just putting it on your radar, dear listeners, just in case it's something you want to check out. So what was next, Scott?
We had another trailer for Lost Soul Aside. I think this is a game that's been coming out for about 6 years, 5 years or something like that. Like I think there was a trailer for it years ago. And they've now shown that off again with a release date of May 30th. My only notice on this it's Final Fantasy, but not, and all the hair is mental. Like
it really is.
Everyone has Final Fantasy hair, and it's all mental. I mean, it's definitely a game that I'll probably play because I eat this shit up. But it looks cool. But
I mean,
yeah, I think it was inspired by Final Fantasy 15, so you can see the inspiration there. Like it's big on that, and you can see the combat looks very much like Final Fantasy 15, where you're sort of shifting in and out of places and kind of hitting the jumping in and hitting them and then jumping out. But it looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, it looks it's a looker. It's one that I wrote down in my notes here. This is definitely a Scott game. That whole sci-fi fantasy RPG vibe. Not doing much for myself, but this is definitely one that you can see. It's a podcast game. Any video game podcast out there, this is one that somebody's going to be playing. It'll be word of mouth spreading. It's a looker. Like if you're into that type of like the visually aesthetically pleasing games, this is one that you need to check out. But it looks
for you. And they all have funny hair. So
they do have funny hair. They do indeed.
Like Final Fantasy seems to have, strayed from funny hair, but they haven't. They've got worse. But this had all the hair that you know and love from the Final Fantasy series.
Absolutely had it in spades. And we moved on then to getting a glut of third-party updates, didn't we, Scott?
Indeed, yeah.
Quick fire.
Pirate Yakuza game demo out on Friday. Ichiban was going on holiday and Dave the Diver.
Yep.
DLC. Don't think they announced when that was.
April. That was coming.
April.
Yep.
Aye. And then there's a Splitgate 2 alpha. Who cares? And then can we also lump in? Oh no, because there was a 2020 2K25 update here as well. So WWE 2K25, and we finally got to see the Hayman.
We've got to see
the island of it's PlayStation Home.
That's exactly what
WWE World.
I wrote that.
I didn't write that, but I wrote it's the WWE version of Street Fighter 6 World Tour. Like it is exactly like that. The whole world looks exactly like you'd imagine it in terms of all the wrestling stuff. I think it looks cool, but it's going to run fucking terribly.
This should be a free to play type thing. The island, immediately. I don't know if it's potentially, God almighty, Potentially,
Potentially.
if this is going to be a ways into making WWE 2K a live service, because it looks like it naturally could fit that vibe. Like, this is just a hub that you can go and connect with your friends, customize your avatar every year, have those microtransactions that these publishers so badly want and need, and you're just buying roster updates every year instead of like a full release. I feel that this is a glimpse into the very weird future of wrestling games, because it's weird, but at the same time, I think wrestling and video game fans could probably see the beauty in it. Just a place to kind of safely hang out and enjoy and customize yourself.
It looks like just a museum of WWE. Like, I think that some of it's based on that. So, it looks. I mean, I'm not going to play it. I've been burned by these games too many times in the past to go back. But I think the fans of this series will find some joy in it. Wrestling fans hate things, and then there's other ones that they'll love to hate it. So
like Triple H.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah, true.
He's in the bad books now. That's coming March 14th, which is quite soon, but I suppose that's just before Mania, so it makes sense.
Indeed.
So the next one's got. We're going to take a little stop here on this journey, because we're going to have words, but do tell the listeners what was up next.
So we got an extended look at Borderlands 4. I mean, I say extended because it was longer than I wanted it to be, but we saw a stupid wee bit from the two Randys, and you'd be embarrassed to be on the same screen, share the same air as Randy Pitchford.
I was going to say, is the two Randys not our tag team name?
The two Randys.
I had to.
He's just like, honestly, I just wrote fuck this. Like, I've no interest in Borderlands, full stop.
Yeah.
But a fourth entry into the series that looks exactly like every other entry into the series. I don't know if the updates to do with the grappling hook and some of the mobility options are what they've changed, but I just wrote looks like Borderlands because it is. And then they spoke about a Borderlands state of play later in the year. Like, I wonder what the viewership will be on that. I just honestly fuck Randy Pitchford, and fuck they're trying to make stupid comedy in the middle of a show. Just get in and get out and piss off.
Say how you really feel, Scott.
It's just a pain in the arse. It's just one of those faces you wouldn't tire a fucking slap him.
Yes, a very polarising figure. Not a fan of him myself. It was Randy Varnell, who's the chief creative officer at Gearbox, that joined them. The second Randy. I'm with you. Like, my notes here, it was just like, it's more Borderlands. It's like, it felt like a DLC. We've said it before on the Pixel Parents podcast. This franchise needs a break. It needs to go away. It feels like a relic of gaming past. Like, I've no idea who at PlayStation thinks a dedicated state of play on this is going to do anything right now in this kind of strange space that PlayStation are in, because, man, like, I feel like the kids that were really our generation, I suppose, that sense of humour, everything that enjoyed the Borderlands games, have grown up now, and it's probably a bit more cringe, and it's not going to be extreme enough to appeal to the worst of us. It's still, towing that middle ground, and I say all this, and it will still come out, and it will shock us, and it will sell like 5 to 10 million copies in the first year, because they always sell gangbusters. That's why they're pushing it, because they are massive sellers. But this felt tired, man. It felt like you've just did one too many. It really did. And I say that as somebody that has bought, played, completed, even reviewed Borderlands games throughout its entirety up to this point, and we've both endured the movie. And it's one of those franchises, when I was watching this trailer, I'm like, as much as I enjoyed like Borderlands 1 and particularly 2, I'm still like, I can't really say that this is like a franchise I enjoy, even at this stage, and despite all that, yes, it will get to the announced release date, which is coming on September 23rd. We should have added that. But I know for a fact, if I'm bored enough, I'm probably going to pick this game up and hate myself for it. So I just don't know.
It is an absolute disgrace. That's my ending thoughts on it. It's a complete disgrace that this exists.
I just can't. I was my jaw hit the floor when they said a state of play is coming on this, and I'm like, I don't want that this spring. By spring, I want a state of play on Ghost of Yotei or Death Stranding, whatever one's coming out. But the fact that neither of them were here is telling me that Ghost of Yotei ain't coming out this year. Like, no chance. Absolutely no chance.
That.
I know. I just you have to start pushing.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. No, it's aye.
We're getting this hot fart of a game instead, but yeah, it's and I hate to be so negative.
Cold fart of a game.
Either or, it's
and it's not the people who make this game. It's not their fault. It's they're getting told what to do. But let's let's move take a step back. Let's light a cigarette and take a huge puff because Split Fiction is coming on the 6th of March. And that game continues to impress.
It really does.
I mean, Joseph Fares knows what he's doing. If anything, he knows how to make a game. Doesn't know how to tone it down a wee bit, but he definitely knows how to make video games.
Yep.
With these trailers, I've always got a thing about them. When you see the two characters interacting, it always feels cringy, like it's like schlocky. So I just wrote like, this is a fantastic idea, but it'll be better when you're actually playing it. Like, it'll be a better game in hand than it does feel like watching it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, from what they showed of it, it's very much all the same stuff as you come to expect from, was it Hazelight?
Yeah.
What you come to expect from them, and coming out on March 6th, I was shocked that it's coming out so soon. So
no, I've been keeping my eye on this. This is definitely one that I've been really looking forward to. Every time I see it, it just looks fantastic. I'm like, yep, I can't wait to play it. I'm really looking forward to playing it with your fine self. It's going to be a good time.
I hope you're buying it because I'm not fucking buying it.
See, did they not have that feature like if your friend didn't buy it, you can still invite them in?
Friend pass or something.
Yeah, it's like let's exploit that. Just no point buying it twice. But it's definitely one of those games. I'm looking at it. It's like that is something that we could play over a weekend, enjoy the story, get in, get out, and I think it looks so polished. They know how to make games. You couldn't have said it better. Really excited.
I just missed the book guy from from
It Takes Two. Yeah.
Did you just make him like narrator for all the games in some way, shape, or form, and then that would be it? We're happy.
I'm sure they'll have his equivalent in this one. There's a certain charm, and I know what you mean about the tone, but I feel you're right. When you're playing it, they managed to toe that line, and they pull it off.
Yeah, because it felt like that with It Takes Two. It's like there's moments in it where you're like, oh, but then there's
a charm.
Happen.
There's a charm about it.
There is a charm to it, a very nice charm. But then we moved on to Supermassive's attempt at making Alien. I thought this looked cool as fuck. It's like, I mean, I'm not going to play it because I have no interest in playing it. But Directive 8020 or something like that.
That's right. Bang on.
In the Dark Pictures anthology series, whatever you're calling it.
That's right.
Set in space, all about aliens, and you know what to expect from it. It looked so cool. Like, it's just like this that's like amazing. October 2nd, so a perfect game to play over the Halloween period. But I thought it looks great. I mean, I think that since Until Dawn, I mean, I've not played any of them since Until Dawn, but since then they've had like The Man from Medan and all these other weird games that haven't really felt like they've hit. And this feels like it's going to do something. So it looks cool.
I'm with you in that. Like, this was definitely one of the most impressive things they showed tonight. It's the second time we've seen it, I believe. If you love the sci-fi horror, you need to be playing this game. I wrote my notes. Alien meets The Thing. There's an alien organism on board, and it's changing, taking shapes and stuff. Visually, probably the most impressive thing we saw, and that's saying something. Because it looks like it's all gameplay footage as well. And I think if you're into horror stuff, I'm a massive coward, so I won't be playing it. But if you are into your horror games, play this. It looks.
This is for you.
This is for you.
This one's the world for you, man.
Indeed.
And continuing on the horror train.
Oh, wait a minute.
We have 5 Nights.
Oh. Did we say the release date for that? Did they announce one?
October 2nd.
You did.
I said it.
On you go.
Said it.
On you go.
But bringing up the rear in the horror train was 5 Nights at Freddy Secrets of the Mimic coming out in June 13th. I don't like. So I'm not familiar with the Five Nights at Freddy's series, but I always thought it was just you stared at cameras and watched them. But this seemed more of a kind of walking kind of simulator kind of thing. That you're walking through the place, like kind of more.
I mean, when
horror
I was
vibes.
When I was watching it, I definitely got the vibe that you'd be at Freddy's potentially for 5 nights, and you might be doing that again, and there'll be creepy teddies. And really, that's all you have to know. I mean, it's the exact
That's all
same.
we got from it.
It's the exact same.
I mean, nah. If you're a Five Nights at Freddy fan, all you out there, then this one's for you.
And when's that coming, Scott? When can you expect it?
June 13th.
More of the same. June 13th.
More of the same, indeed.
So what was next? Let's move on.
The Midnight Walk showed up again. This wee VR, PSVR, and also not VR game at the same time. So they had a wee trailer for it, and then I think they showed off another wee gameplay snippet. I remember this looking different when they first showed it off. Like, I remember this looking very different. I don't remember it. In my head, this looked completely different to what I remember.
They showed it, I believe. Now, this is just from my recollection, from more of a VR perspective the first time round, and this time it didn't seem to be that way. But all I've wrote here is Tim Burton, the game. I might have said that last time. Not one for me. It did look impressive though. Like, it was pretty cool to see that stop motion animation style, but it's just not one for me. Like, I don't know. This is the type of thing. If this came out in 2003, you would see it on like people's backpacks, little badges of it that you'd buy from.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was the name of that shop? HMV. Aye. God.
It's do you know what? It's good to see VR get some love. Like, I know that we're not the VR podcast, but it's good to see that they're still showing some love to.
And yeah,
PSVR.
It's cool that there was a couple of releases actually through this. I think that they just sneakily put that in there. It's PS5 and PSVR 2. But yeah, it's it didn't do much for me, but it's coming. If you like the kind of gothy vibe, Tim Burton type style, first person, then man, you've got some treats coming for you. But I wasn't excited for that, but I was very excited for the next game that they teased.
What, Darwin's Paradox?
Yes.
From Konami? Octodad Traveler. There you go. You can talk about it.
Buzzing for that, right? So you're playing as a cute wee octopus called Darwin.
Sorry. I'm sorry, but no reaction to Octodad Traveler. Nothing. Completely fucking throwing me off here.
I've got something here just to kind of see if we can add to it, right? So we can add to it. But yeah, you're playing as this cute little octopus called Darwin. Very cutesy art style. Chucked into a food processing centre, and it's just giving me total Oddworld vibes, and I'm like, yes, I'm in. That's it. When I looked at this, I immediately thought Oddworld. Like, this could be the Abe of the age. I'm in. I want to play this so bad, and I'm hoping to Christ it gets added to PS Plus at launch because nobody's going to go buy it. It looks fantastic.
It does look fucking class. Like, some of the wee stealth sections and stuff, I was like, that's actually amazing. So, yeah, I was shocked. I just wrote yep on my notes, but the more I think about it, it does look cool. I'll give you that.
Believe in Darwin. So what was next then, Scott?
It was a shock release today of Warriors Abyss, a roguelite spin from Koei Tecmo. From what I imagine, it's roguelite Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
Just thought it looked. I thought that kind of roguelite aspect with all those hordes of enemies actually sounds pretty cool. So it might be something that I'll try out. And as I said, it released today, so it's definitely something that I think that Dynasty Warriors are so hot right now with was it Origins that came out? I think it'd be remembering all this shit. It looks cool. It looks cool, and it's one of those games that if I'm ever sitting bored, I'll maybe play it, but I don't think I'd go out my way to go and play it. Day one. Or today,
I mean, it was pretty cool. It's always nice to see those drops that arrive same day. I was surprised by it myself. Looked very busy, epic. I'm not familiar with the Warriors franchise, so it's not something that I'm going to play, to be very honest. But I think that kind of makes do with the first slice of bread segment of the state of play, Scott, because we're now entering the meat of this.
The meat.
We're getting some
And
fine
you're fucking
filet mignon.
I'm glad you said it. I'm glad you've said it now, because I was going to be fucking raging if you'd said it next.
No. Saying it now.
I got so excited. Thinking if they're doing out today, it's coming out today. I'm happily going to stay up till 4 a.m. playing this. But we got another trailer for Onimusha 2, the black sheep of the series, I would call it.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those games where, because it's not Samanosuke, Jubi, I think it's Jubi or something his name is, but it's a fucking phenomenal game, and I've been waiting for it to come out since fucking forever. Like, I have it on a PS2 upstairs, and it's a pain in the arse trying to get it set up. But now that I know it's coming out for PS5 on May 23rd this year, then I am all in on this. Like, it's weird to be in a position where 2025 most anticipated game for this year is Onimusha 2 for the PS2. It's fucking outrageous.
It looks
so ridiculous.
They've done such a good job. Like they mentioned, they've added new HD graphics, and they've also added some analog control support, which is great. So it's not just a like ship it and see what happens. They've actually did something with it. So they have remastered it.
They've done it with Onimusha before as well. Like they've done it with Onimusha earlier, a couple of years ago. Actually, I think it was they released that, and it's brilliant. Like,
well, I've got some information on that, Scott, which may please excite you and other listeners out there, because it's pretty cool. So there's updates to the original they've added a new hell mode where basically one hit kills. So if you get hit, you're dead, which is pretty cool.
First enemy.
You'll also have all assets, so all the 3D character models, visual effects, CG cutscenes, backgrounds, fonts are now in HD. Easy mode is now available by default for players who just want to enjoy the story, which is again cool for accessibility, or people that are just interested to see what the fuss is about. All cutscenes can be skipped from the start. There's an added autosave feature. You can switch between 16:9 and 4:3 aspect ratios on the fly during gameplay, which is so cool. Weapons can be swapped without having to open the menu. Gallery now, from the original, now supports higher resolutions, and it's got a zoom function, and they've added 100 special new artworks, and you can listen to all 43 songs of the original soundtrack on it as well. So they've also announced that if you've got saved data from Onimusha Warlords, you can get the Samanosuke outfit for Jubi, which is so cool.
We're fucking in here now, man.
Yeah, so it's that was such a cool announcement, man. It's definitely one. Onimusha fans,
it's nice that
rejoice.
The year 2025 and 2026 are year of Onimusha, because I tell you what, the next trailer had me creaming out my arse. I was fucking buzzing when they announced that there was another trailer for it, but that trailer was obviously Onimusha Way of the Sword, and we got to meet in the flesh, face to face, Miyamoto Musashi, who is, I'm assuming, the new protagonist for
He is indeed.
the next game in the series. I was a wee bit put off when he started, laughing and smiling and stuff. I was like, this isn't what I come to expect from my Onimusha. But the minute they started to show the combat and the gameplay for it, I was like, I'm done. This is me. Like 2026, just get it over and done with, because let's just get this out and in my hands immediately.
It looks like this was absolutely a highlight of the show, maybe the highlight of the show. And that's saying something. Yeah. This looks like jaw dropping. Like, I was so excited watching this, and it's just, I'm loving how it's at the perfect time. Like, obviously they've been working on this for years and years, and they've did it the right way, which is, look, whilst you're waiting on this, let's remaster the classics, because we've been begging for Onimusha to come back for feels like 15 years or something at this point, and it's like it's hitting at the right time, because feudal Japan within video games, this feudal Japan vibes are like so in vogue again, which is it's like perfect timing for it to come back right now. It's a bit like me saying Dino Crisis should have came back 10 years ago when people were high on dinosaurs. It's now just idiots like me that still loves dinosaurs, but I digress. But I get what you mean. Like, I was taken aback by the kind of glimmers of the combat, the humour, but after a split second of I'm not sure, and I was like, actually, no, I get it, because you want to see the series evolve a little bit.
Yeah,
and then,
definitely.
Like you said, you see the gameplay, the little glimmers of it, when it wasn't a gameplay footage trailer, but you'd like, right, it's in safe hands. They're cooking something here. Just let them do their thing. And next year, we eating good.
It's the good thing is it's Konami are back, as well. With it's absolutely disgusting. And that brings us on to fucking Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, the longest name in video game history.
I should also add, sorry, it was Capcom. Sorry for Onimusha before we.
I know.
Just in case.
I was trying to say it stupidly. But yeah, it's Konami are back and they are swinging for the fences with the same trailer that we've all seen.
Yes, with a leaked trailer.
I just wrote, I am fucking gutted that it leaked, because if this hadn't leaked, this would be a 10 out of 10 for me. You know what I mean? Because
100%. This is the part of the show where I hate the internet the most, because you're right. The thing that was missing, this was the pop. This was the big thing that they had for it, and we were robbed of it because some Cheeto-dusted individual decided to leak this onto the internet, and it was shared by the biggest publications out there, including ourselves. We're talking about it, but we're small fry. And
horrible. It's horrible for them.
It really is, because what a trailer, man. This is how you do a remake. This is how you do it. Oh man.
And it's Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, it's I don't even know what to say about it. I'm not 100% sure about Ocelot's face, because I think they're trying to make him too much like 5, but we'll leave it at that. But yeah, I'm just excited to get back in and run around mental, just to go and enjoy that game in glorious HD, with such a beautiful man. I'm so excited for it. So August 28th, as we all know. I don't want to linger on it too long, because we all know everything about it anyway. And it kind of feels like with these trailers with Konami is that they've showed us everything. They've showed us the entire game. So it's let's just get in and fucking play it now.
Well, I've got some information from the PlayStation blog about it, because it's important to kind of share a little bit about it, just so people know what to expect from it. So as we know, it's a remake of one of the greatest games of all time, our top Metal Gear Solid game that we ranked a few weeks ago.
Indeed.
So this is no small task. If they're going to remake a game, man, this is probably as hard as a job as you could pick, but it looks like it's in safe hands. So on the blog, they are, of course, setting the story untouched, but they're introducing a few additions to the gameplay side of things. So straight from the blog here, they've added a third-person view, which they revealed last year. So one of the big differences from the original is that you can choose between two different control styles: an over-the-shoulder third-person viewpoint in new style, and a top-down viewpoint in legacy style, to recreate the look and feel of the original game. The legacy style camera and controls might be tricky to get used to, which is why we designed new style so that contemporary gamers can jump right in. They've also added a quick select camouflage menu as well, so that you can change stuff on the fly, which is cool. A little accessibility update, I suppose. And of course, they've just mentioned more about the Ape Escape Pippo monkeys making an appearance, of course, but PlayStation 5 Pro support and is there. So basically, if you're playing on that,
they've also I saw a leak, or not a leak, but I saw a wee post from someone talking about they've also put a Snake versus, and it's Bomberman as well. So there's potentially going to be a Bomberman mode as well, which is most exciting.
Indeed. But we were talking about this maybe a couple of weeks ago, how we're really wanting something to get excited about the PlayStation 5 Pro that we've got sitting there, but feel like we're not getting the juice out of yet. So if you're playing on the PS5 Pro, they're promising smoother, enhanced performance, even with graphics set to quality mode, and with the pisser, everything's going to be rendered in more detail. So they're basically promising it's going to look better playing on that. The one thing that I want to call attention to is that obviously the pre-orders are now live, but there is a digital deluxe edition, which I didn't realise comes with a 48-hour early access on it as well, which means that they might have a hook, line, and sinker. I hate to admit it, but yeah.
Straight by the balls. I've got a physical edition coming as well, so
there you go.
I don't know.
That'll arrive early anyway. That'll arrive early. But hopefully. That was
hopefully.
This and Onimusha, man, they were duking it out. I mean, this should have been the really big celebration moment. We finally got the date. It was robbed of us. That's not PlayStation's fault, but that's the reality. Yeah. So we shall move on. Scott. Well, what was next?
So we got to see Hell Is Us again. Fucking weird ass trailer. But some of the vibes in this trailer were cool as hell.
I thought
It was
looked
like
great, man. Looked great.
part of it's like Resident Evil, part of it's Death Stranding, part of it's like Returnal. It's all weird as fuck. I just wrote, this looks fucking cool and weird in brackets, total Scott game. And then I put that it has the makings of like a Stellar Blade from this year.
Yeah.
Like it's got the vibe of having something like it's successful in its own wee way, because I think they came out and said Stellar Blade is sold really well. So I think this has the makings of something like that. It just looks weird. Like I'm not really sure what to make of it, but I'm just like I'm all in. Just in the vibes alone, I'm thinking this is cool.
Yeah, I mean
and it's new. It's new. Like that's the thing. Like we talk about, and like, you know, talking about remakes and talking about remasters and talking about sequels and stuff like that. But this is a brand new IP, and it just looks so interesting. So I'm interested to see what it looks like when it comes out.
Yeah, I totally agree. Was it September 4th it's coming? And I've wrote, this is kind of what Death Stranding wishes it was, just with the kind of weird vibes and the action of it. Yeah, it was a tone piece. It was just kind of hinting more at the story aspects of it since it was revealed last year. Looks cool. Go check it out. But we should move on to the next one because we've still got a bit to talk about. So I'm just keen that we charge on. So this was another big announcement, I would say. Scott, what did we get?
We got a Lies of P Overture DLC coming in summer 2025. More of the same. I just wrote more of the same, please, in terms of the combat and different weapons variety and stuff like that as well, and the boss battles.
Yeah.
It's just been a long time coming. And it kind of feels almost like too long. Like it coming out in summer, I'm kind of like, maybe. But yeah, I'm into it. I fucking loved Lies of P when it came out. Like, and this just looks more interesting. And the way that they do the story and the way that they kind of drip feed different characters from Yore in there is very interesting. So I'm interested to see what they do with it.
Yeah, it's a prequel story expansion, which is really interesting. Nice to see them take that tone with it, or take that approach with it. It's a game I need to go back and finish for sure. But I thought this was probably as confident a trailer that you could put out there. It just looks so polished and complete. Really impressed by it. So who knows? Might come in with summer 2025.
Summer 2025. Yeah, I would recommend Lies of P. Go and finish that immediately because it's class. Like, it's so good.
You'll understand it now, Scott, but the thing that derailed me from my Lies of P playthrough was Cyberpunk, so you can totally understand.
Of course.
But we should move on to the next game, which looks like a lame-ass game. So yeah, I'm going to...
This?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
You fucking go and do your thing. Right, okay. I just wrote, what the fuck is this? Well, I felt like I'd fallen asleep.
It was a game by Bion. It was called Dreams of Another, which is coming 2025.
Are we supposed to? So, hands up. Do we know who are Bion? Are we supposed to know who that is?
No idea. It's like Hansel.
So the way they said that, is like a new game from Bion. Like, who the fuck's Bion?
There'll be somebody screaming at this, going, "You don't know who the hell this is." I don't care. But it looks good. It's basically, he's promised to kind of shatter the norms of shooting games using cloud rendering tech to create these pretty cool dreamscapes in a pixel style. So it looks like it's that little blend of a hint of action with the narrative storytelling. Loved the vibe of it. I don't know what it was. It just resonated. So I'm like, yeah, it's coming 2025. Cool. That's all I wrote. We did get a big dump of information following this. Kristen,
this was the PS Plus. This was the PS Plus and all that.
It was. Do you know what? Well, this was actually one of the most hype parts of this. You know, I love the way when she turns up, it's like, right, here we go. Right, we're going to be getting some stuff, and I might as well just kind of go straight into it, Scott. But we led the charge with Days Gone remastered. As
right, I tell you what, this is the point where I maybe dip a toe into the Days Gone, because I've been dying to play it forever, and
mate, I think there's a game in there you'll enjoy. I really do.
Do you know what really really interested me as part of it? It's not the story. It's nothing to do with it. In this update, they've put an arcade horde mode in.
Yes.
So I was like, that looks class. That looks so cool.
Yeah. And trust me, those hordes don't mess about. So that will definitely be something that's cool to watch. They've added like permadeath mode, the DualSense support, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's going to take advantage of PS5 Pro. It's supporting that as well. It's coming April 25th, and you can upgrade to it for a tenner if you've got the PS4 version. So it might be worth, if you're going to want to dip a toe, Scott, maybe pick up a cheap version of that now whilst you can off eBay. I'm actually happy it's getting its time in the sun. It's a good game. It's very long, very long. It definitely knows what it wants to be, and I respect it for that. It's
not just one very, two veries.
Exactly, yeah. It's very, very long indeed. But I actually think that this is going to be a game that you'll vibe with, if I'm honest. I think there's something you could happily just sit there and sink some time into. Then the next update, Scott, you should take this one away, because I thought you'd be very happy with the next update that was announced.
The next update? What? Star Wars Jedi Survivor Lost Records and Topspin coming to PS Plus?
No.
Stellar Blade.
Yep, there we go.
Stellar Blade got a DLC. It's like is it an Infinity Nikki DLC or something like that?
Yes.
June 2025. It's maybe something I'll come back to on this week's episode.
Okay.
But I'm all in on I'm all in on this shit.
That's what I like to hear.
More outfits to hide from my wife.
Well, then, of course, like the next update you just mentioned with the PlayStation Plus game catalogue editions being Jedi Survivor Top Spin and, of course, Lost Records Blooming Rage. I'm so happy because the two games that I have next for me to play, Avowed and Lost Records Blooming Rage, and I'm going to have to go out and buy one of them. And now I don't. This is fantastic.
No, you don't.
Fantastic news. I'm so excited to play that game. And now I might as well.
Is it all? Is that like episodic Lost Records?
Yes, so Tape 1 is coming out on February 18th and Tape 2 will be coming out in April. I don't know the exact date, but they will be both coming. They'll both be coming as part of the Plus? Yeah, it's April 15th, so they're both coming to PlayStation Plus on the game catalogue, which is a fantastic deal.
Lucky you.
I know, this is great. We're eating good. There was a few other updates off the back of it. There's two indie titles going to be coming day one to game catalogue, which will burn through these quickly. Blueprints is coming to game catalogue spring 2025. Not much to add on that. And Abiotic Factor is coming to game catalogue this summer. And then there was some PlayStation Plus classics, which will be coming soon, including the first three Armored Core games, which is pretty cool. And Patapon 3 is coming next week. So yeah.
Indeed.
Lots of cool things. I'm conscious of time, Scott, so I'm wanting to just kind of move through quickly so we've got some time to kind of linger on a couple of things that's coming up. What was next? Now that we had those updates out the road, what was next?
What was next? We had Tides of Annihilation.
Yes.
From Eclipse Glow Games. And if you've ever wanted to see the Total Scott Curry game in action, this is it. I was fucking, the minute I saw weird characters here and I saw somebody jumping through the sky stabbing somebody, I was like, I'm in. Hook, line and sinker. I'm fucking all for it. I just wrote cool, mate, yes. Because everything I've seen in this game so far, I'm fucking all about. So I'm buzzing about this.
I am with you on this. Because they're obviously tying into some of the King Arthur type mythology that's in here as well. It looks incredible. Like,
yeah,
I cannot recommend people just go look at this trailer. Like, kind of seeing like the kind of apocalyptic end world London setting that's there. It's a third person action adventure game. But the combat looks amazing. It's as close as you'll get to a From Software type style artwork as you'll see anywhere. I think it is going to be set within a modern London, which is kind of reimagined effectively.
Maybe you get to run past Big John halfway through it.
Oh, yes, maybe you can. You've also got Big John, Jesus Christ. But once I heard the name Gwendolyn get shout out, like during that trailer, I'm like, I'm in. God damn it, they've got me. This just looks like a game that you just want to play on a big shiny telly somewhere and just show it off and enjoy it. It's a total feast for the eyes.
I'm looking forward to my PS5 Pro melting as I play it, because it's just trying to keep up with everything that's going on. So that'll be an interesting concept.
Yeah,
fucking time.
It is going to be supported with PS5 Pro as well.
As it
has been
damn
confirmed.
well should be.
So it's got an enhanced mode. What an announcement, man! That was something to really get excited about. So I mean, that was really cool to see. And then we moved on to another small announcement here. Would you like to take it away, Scott?
Yeah, when I first saw it, I wrote marathon because I thought this is marathon. I was like, what the fuck is this? And then it said Metal Eden. I thought it was marathon. I don't really know if I like the art style of it. I think it looks too cartoony, but someone out there will like it. Because I thought it was marathon, I didn't make much notes because I thought you would. But it seems like the developer of it is like Raycon Games or something.
Mm-hmm.
They actually laid off 80% of their workforce last year.
Damn.
But it seems interesting. They're coming out May 6th. So
yeah, this looks like a high octane first person shooter. Sci-fi vibes as well. For a split second, I thought it was marathon. Then it started to open up, and it's like that's not marathon. You can just tell straight away. But May 6th.
Can you tell? Can you tell straight away? Aye, just me. My untrained eye doesn't understand these games.
You hate first person shooters. You cannot stand them.
I do fucking hate them. So that was I switched off immediately, but then I switched back on, seeing this fucking next game.
Oh mate, I just want to say before we say what it is, but I was so happy to see the big man return and representing the fine nation of Scotland, because we need to put some respect on this man's name. And who am I talking about, Scott?
Sir Lensley of Benzies.
There we go.
I didn't realise he was a real person. You see his name coming up in the beginning of the Grand Theft Auto games, and it's like, all right, I've never seen his face, and then he popped up on screen. It's like, he's fucking real. He's fucking real. But you can see the fingerprints and the DNA of GTA in this title. Also wrote it looks like fucking cyberpunk as well, and I was like, oh no. Oh no.
It looks outrageous. I suppose
looks fucking phenomenal.
What's the name of the game so that people know what we're talking about?
The name of the game that we're talking about is Mind's Eye.
Mm-hmm. God,
it looks
good.
Honestly, that if you want to go and look for a trailer, go and look for that, because it just looks outrageous. Like, I'm excited to see what he's been cooking up, because for what I know of him, everything he touches turns to gold. So it looks fucking class. And you'd be shocked if you didn't think it was Grand Theft Auto, just looking at some of the still images from it. It's like futuristic Grand Theft Auto. But I was all about it. It looked cool as fuck.
It looks fantastic. I don't think it's been confirmed as an open world game. Just said it's a single person narrative driven like action title. But you're right. It's got that DNA inherent. It features the same actor that was the lead in Mafia 3 that's playing the main character. I think so his name. Yeah, I noticed it. I was like, I recognise that voice. And you see him, and it's like, right, there he is. Man, that's coming this summer. Yes, I can't wait to play this game, man. It looks fantastic. It looks like it's a nice summer blockbuster game, and it's in good hands. We've got some pedigree behind it.
I think games like this, though, like, obviously you've got to deal with some of the poo, right? And that's fine, but unknown quantities like this are really what make some of these shows. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously we can't judge it from previous experience, but I think that's a good title to show that it's coming out. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's good to see it. So that's just like I'm high on cyberpunk at the moment, so I was just like, ooh.
No, exactly. I mean, I love to see this type of stuff like kind of just come out of nowhere. Totally surprises. We knew he'd been working on something for ages. What was the name? Was it Build a Rocket Boy? Is the name of the development studio. I'm so happy just to see these revered developers come back into space and really just show them. It's like, do you know what? We're not just. I don't want to just be like the GTA guy. It's like, here we are, but we've still got the sauce, and it looks like it has it, man.
Making a game that looks like GTA, though.
Oh man, no, but still.
I know what you mean. Looks
absolutely fucking fantastic. But then we bring the curtain down with one last announcement, Scott. And what was that?
One last thing. So you pan in onto a beach, looking out onto water, which suspiciously looks like the beach from Death Stranding, the Death Stranding game. And I was like, oh God, we're going to see Death Stranding 2 here. We're going to see more of it. But then it cuts in and you see big handsome Raul Coley lying on the floor, looking up at the eclipse with a massive gun. And then you see the orbs in the eye. I was like, this is fucking Returnal 2.
Yep.
It's Returnal 2. Literally shitting myself. Like, oh my fucking God, they're doing it. Housemarque comes up, 30th anniversary. It's like, they're doing fucking Returnal 2. But it's not. It's called Saros. And it's coming in 2026, which was the biggest kick in the balls I've ever felt. But it looks so fucking cool. Like, from what we've seen of it, it's obviously we've not seen gameplay, but the kind of tone and vibe that they're going for, and also Rahul Kohli being in it. I'm into it. I'm already sold. Big handsome bastard himself. But what did you make of it?
It looked really cool, man. Really cool. I was absolutely terrible at Returnal, but I could appreciate it for what it was. I was just terrible. Just, at the time trying to play that, couldn't be arsed. But when you see Rahul Kohli getting there, who is an avid gamer himself, so the man just gets it. He's going to put his heart and soul into this performance. And yeah, I think it's cool to see something that's coming that feels like a PS5 Pro game, if it makes sense. It was a tone piece. But yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, are they actually going to do this? And no, but I get why. I think they've said in the blog here that they wanted Returnal to stand on its own, which is good. They're putting respect on that.
You couldn't have done a Returnal. Returnal's fucking brilliant. Like, that's one of the platinums that I've got that, I look at like, yeah, that was fucking worth every minute of it, because it's a phenomenal platinum to do, and you really do feel like an absolute expert playing it. And I'm glad they're not dipping back into that well, but I hope that they take some of what they've learned from Returnal and it gets thrown in this, and we get fucking Returnal X. You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to shit all over us, and it's going to be class.
I mean, they did promise there's going to be more gameplay look this summer or later this year. Cool. I think it's definitely, you can see that this might be the game that you finally go, man, I might need to actually go invest in a PS5 Pro, because it's going to be a looker. But yeah, and that wrapped up the show. That was it. 40 minutes well spent. Like I said, even going back through it again, I'm still where I was at, 7 out of 10. There was a couple of things in there. It probably would have been higher if the Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater thing wasn't spoiled for us. Yeah. I really was shocked that Death Stranding 2 wasn't announced here, because for me, not announced, the release date, just for me, it feels like it would make more sense to announce it here where there's more eyes on it, as opposed to South by Southwest, where it's just going to be Hideo Kojima rubbing shoulders with famous people, which I've warned them. I want substance Kojima back, not style Kojima. So he's on warning here. And same with Ghost of Yoti, I thought one of the two, but I wonder if we might be entering an era where these big games might be release date announced within like a very short window. Like, instead of 6 months, maybe 4 months or something like that. If we look at Metal Gear Solid Snake, or Delta, sorry, we are 6 months out from release on that now, from the official release. So you want to give enough time for pre-orders and for, to market the damn thing, to let people know, the non-hardcore dweebs like us, that this is coming out. So
I think also as well, the fact that we're getting for no reason, we're getting a Borderlands State of Play. It might just hint the fact that we're going to get State of Plays for other games. Do you know what I mean? Like, we might get a Ghost of Yoti State of Play or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, in the future. So, I think that not having news about games like Ghost of Yoti or Wolverine or Marathon or whatever that Fair Games is called, not having any updates on these games is not necessarily a bad thing, because we've only just seen Ghost of Yoti. Like, I wasn't expecting to see it now. I kind of felt like, it's too much too soon, but I kind of feel like in the next couple of months we'll probably see more of it, and then we'll be happy to have seen it, and then we'll know the release date in 2025, like Grand Theft Auto. But yeah, we've got to believe. I'm rubbing my
balls. Well, that is the the elephant in the room, which is why I don't think we're seeing a lot of big games like get announced. I think they're waiting for this GTA 6 bomb to drop because ain't nobody want to release something next to that. But yeah, we'll see. The one thing that I was thinking about as a takeaway is that I would love it if these shows, if they really just committed and did what Nintendo did or do and just put the big announcements in there anyway. It doesn't have to be in one, but I think Sony, not so much Xbox, but Sony are really guilty of maybe giving one or two many things to the likes of Jeff Keighley for Summer Game Fest and the Game Awards. I'm like that. These things should not be within big 4 or 5 hour shows. I'm sorry. Like, it's exciting at the time, but right now I'd much rather sit down for a 40-minute state of play and come away and be like, oh my God, I didn't expect that.
It weakens the effect of the state of play. Like most of the conversations around state of plays are always the shite because they're not showcases and the showcases are better. But if you put in, a couple of big announcements in the state of play, then they'd be must watch. Well, they're already must watch, but you'd be like, oh, I can't miss this. Like, so yeah, I see what you mean.
Plus, as well, there was no Square Enix, so it tells me that Nintendo Direct is coming in April. It's going to be meaty. It's going to be meaty.
It's going to be massive. Aye, it's going to be industry changing. I think
it will. It'll switch things up for sure. So
it'll switch things up too. Fuck's sake.
Well, of course, that is all from Pixel Reacts and PlayStation State of Play. So what did you make of the show? Were you happy with the announcements? Let us know on Blue Sky at pixelparents.bsky.social or write to us at pixelparentspodcast@gmail.com, and you can even leave a comment on Spotify if you're listening to that right now. Of course, if you like what you hear, leave a 5-star review, and for more, you can listen to the Pixel Parents podcast every week. That's every Friday at 6 a.m. on your podcast platform of choice, where we will discuss the world of gaming from the perspective of parents. It's really good. You should join in. You should just have a wee listen. Yeah, I think it's good, Scott. Do you think it's good?
It's good. And message to me from the future or the past. Well done. Good on you, mate.
Well done. Well of course, until next time, stay safe, stay sane, and thanks for listening.